There's a little bit of a debate, like what kind of angel was Satan? Was he a cherub or a seraphim? Dr. Scott Hahn, who I interviewed, said that he thinks that he's a seraph.
Lucifer was one of the seraphim, highest of the 9 choirs of angels. Day star is what Lucifer means. In Hebrew, literally means fiery or burning ones. When he commits the pride and disobedience and brings down 1/3 of the angels, they all enter into his prideful act of disobedience. He doesn't cease to be one of the seraphim. He's just desecrated and corrupted. And so if he is a fiery one by his angelic nature, he doesn't cease to be that. People who give consent to pride and disobedience all the way to the end of their lives and don't repent, their pride and disobedience unite them to Lucifer.
Seraphim can be associated with the imagery of a fiery one, but there's other passages in the Old Testament that kind of are associated with like fiery serpents. Seraphim and seraph and serpents being closely associated, which is interesting since he's called a serpent in the garden. So he could be a seraphim, could be a cherub. Someone like Thomas Aquinas says that he wasn't a seraphim, but he was a cherub.
A cherubim is interpreted fullness of knowledge, while seraphim means those who are on fire or who are set on fire. Consequently, cherubim is derived from knowledge, which is compatible with mortal sin. But seraphim is derived from the heat of charity, which is incompatible with mortal sin. Therefore, the first angel who sinned is called not a seraph, but a cherub.
In Ezekiel, it's interesting, Satan is called a cherubim. It says,
"You were the signet of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was your covering, and worked in gold were your settings and your engravings. On the day that you were created, they were prepared. With an anointed cherub as guardian, I placed you. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked among the stones of fire. You were blameless in your ways from the day that you were created until iniquity was found in you. In the abundance of your trade, you were filled with violence and you sinned. So I cast you as a profane thing from the mountain of God, and the guardian cherub drove you out from among the stones of fire. Your heart was proud because of your beauty. You corrupted your wisdom for the sake of your splendor. I cast you to the ground."
So some people think that Satan may have been like this cherubim, this guardian angel in the Garden of Eden, and that he betrayed his role of guardianship and then led Adam and Eve, the first humans, astray. Why do you think?
Because he didn't want God to be the most, get the best.
Like he wanted to be better than God? I think that's right. Now, Jesus is the first one to kind of like explicitly talk about the fall of Satan. In Luke chapter 10, verses 17 through 19, I watched Satan fall from heaven like a flash of lightning. See, I have given you authority to tread on snakes and scorpions and over the power of the enemy, and nothing will hurt you. Then we see in Revelation chapter 12, Michael, the archangel, throwing Satan out of heaven. So he was involved with this. Yep. He dropped him kind of like did like a big wrestling move and just kind of threw him down to earth, crash landing.
But he threw down to earth?
We don't have any footage from what it exactly looked like,
So
but
no one saw him, just on the ground.
Jesus saw him fall, Michael saw him fall, and he...
So no one living on earth just saw him.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not sure if any human actually witnessed the fall. It probably happened either before humans or perhaps it happened maybe during when he first made humans, but a lot of people think it happened beforehand.